The champagne was warm in my hand when my mother said it. And I'm so proud to stand here tonight as the mother of my only daughter, Isabella. The room froze for half a second, not long enough for anyone to correct her, long enough for everyone to look at me. I smiled, not because it didn't hurt, because the timing was perfect. I used to believe betrayal was loud. Screaming matches, slammed doors, obvious villains. I was wrong. Betrayal is silk dresses and chandeliers. It's applause. It's being erased politely. When my mother remarried, I tried. God, I really tried. I was 22, old enough to know better, young enough to hope. Isabella was 16 then, pretty in that effortless way that doesn't ask permission. She called me sis the first week, hugged me too tightly, borrowed my clothes. My mum glowed around her like she'd been waiting for a daughter who reflected better. I told myself love wasn't finite. I told myself I was imagining it. The first cut was small family photos where I was busy, holidays scheduled when I couldn't get off work, my name slipping from conversations. Then the bigger ones. My college fund set up by my late father suddenly needed restructuring. The house deed quietly updated. A lawyer I didn't hire stopped returning my calls. I didn't cry, I watched. The proof came by accident. I was home early one afternoon when her phone lit up on the counter. She'd left it charging. I wasn't snooping, I wasn't curious. The notification preview did the work for me. Once everything's in Isabella's name, we'll be free from her lawyer. My chest tightened. My hands didn't shake. That's when the grief ended and the planning began. I didn't confront her. I didn't ask why. I asked questions, quiet ones. I requested copies of documents for my records. I met with my father's old financial advisor, the one she'd forgotten about. I learned about trusts, irrevocable ones, clauses triggered by misrepresentation. Turns out my father was thorough. Turns out betrayal has consequences if you're patient. I let her keep going. I let her plan the gala. Tonight's event was her masterpiece, a charity gala, press invited, influential donors, Isabella in white. My mother radiant in her role as proud singular parent. I was invited as an afterthought, seated near the back, a courtesy presence. That was fine. The stage was already set. When she said the words, "only daughter," something flickered in her eyes. Relief, finality. She thought the story was over. That's when I raised my glass. "I'm so sorry," I said loud enough to slice through the applause. "Before we toast, can I ask a question?" 100 eyes snapped to me. My mother's smile stiffened. Of course. I tilted my head, calm, pleasant. "Should we also celebrate the fact that you committed financial fraud by attempting to transfer assets from a protected trust that legally excludes both stepchildren and spouses?" Gasps rippled like electricity, I continued, steady. "Or should we wait until your lawyer explains it? He's here tonight, I made sure." Her face drained. Isabella looked between us, confused, afraid. I didn't look at her. This wasn't about her. The lawyer stood. He didn't want to. He had to. Words like breach, invalid transfer, fiduciary misconduct floated through the room. I watched my mother realize inch by inch that she wasn't in control anymore. Security approached. Guests whispered. Phones appeared. I took one step closer to the stage. "Oh," I added softly. "And just so we're clear, Dad's trust doesn't recognize me as your daughter." I smiled. "It recognizes me as his." They ended the gala early. They couldn't end what followed. Audits, lawsuits, headlines. The charity distanced itself. Donors vanished. The house went back into trust control. Mine. My mother stopped calling. Isabella sent one message. I didn't know. I believed her. It didn't change anything. Now, weeks later, I sit alone in my father's study, the one she tried to sell. I don't feel triumphant. I feel clean. She wanted a daughter she could shape. I became a consequence she couldn't escape. Justice doesn't scream. It waits. And when it finally speaks, everyone listens.